I'm Larry Martin, and this is GlueLogix. And this is LineLogix PC by GlueLogix Incorporated, running as a standalone tag encoder for a hand encoding workstation. The software scans for new tags and operates on every new tag it sees. I'm going to take the old tag off the reader right now and put it back. And that's how it works. You can do that all day long or eventually upgrade to other LineLogix configurations and machines. For now, we're just going to concentrate on Ntag213 Tag Tamper in the standalone configuration. Turn this off for a second. About 10 years ago, when I started working on NFC, I came up with this DAT file system that had all the bytes that go into the chip memory, along with a little bit of metadata like the chip name and the lock bytes. More recently, as NXP started coming out with new chips that had a lot of functionality and high memory, I basically kept the same configuration. I said, well, if you really want to use these things, it's just data. Just make sure you put enough data in the DAT file so that the things you want to do are spaced out to the end of memory. That was okay, and that kind of worked for people, especially if they had an editor that told them the line number. But we've come to the end of that road in the beginning of 2020 with these new features that I'm showing today. There's more metadata at the end of the file. The CFG base page is always first. That's the place where the configuration starts in memory. Up here is all the NFC data that's always been in the DAT file. And down here is all the stuff you can set up. Now, hopefully, after this, you never have to look at a DAT file again because there's an editor. We come up here and we click the New Tag button. We open a sector file, and we open that last file we were just looking at on the right. It comes up with all the NFC stuff in a little window so you can play with it. It comes up with the Ntag210 tag type, which can be anything from Ntag210 to Ntag216. You click OK, though, and you get all this new stuff here, including a list of tags that you can use. Now notice we start out by default with the first page of the configuration at 29. If we change, say, to Ntag216, that changes to the appropriate value for Ntag216. In this scheme, we want to mirror the UID up here and the tamper message up here. So we set our mirror type to UID plus tamper. Our mirror start byte has to be specified, and for that we can count over if we want to, or we can do this. We can say, we can put our cursor at the place where we want the data to start, and then click Set from Cursor. And the dialog comes up saying that, giving us a vertical bar where the data is going to be. Here's tag ID equals, and that's up here, and here's a bunch of U's, and that's up here, and this is showing us that our mirror data is going to be inserted at this place between the equal sign and the first U. Okay, that. Now say I wanted it to come up later, like here after the X. I would click there, set from cursor, and now it's coming up in a different place, and you see the numbers changed from whatever it was before to 4E. But we don't really want it there because that'll mess things up. So now we set it again, back to 3F. These other functions are all mappable back to these things in the square brackets at the bottom of the DAT file, and also mappable to things in the publicly available NXP data sheet for this chip. Notable is the tag tamper message, which will only be written to the chip if tamper enable is true. A couple of caveats on that. If you try to write this to a regular Ntag213 that doesn't have the tag tamper feature, you'll get an exception every time. It's general error. The fault code from the FIG reader is 0x0E, and that usually tells you that you're trying to write to a locked tag, but in this case it's telling you that you're writing to memory that's inaccessible. This value here allows you to reprocess tags that have already been encoded. Say you come through and you write the password 31323334. That's in ASCII, that would be 1234. Say you wrote that to a bunch of chips. Now you want to change that. You put this in as your unlock password, and you go to town. If you are processing new chips, you can leave this spot blank, and then the system won't try to unlock. If you forget that and you have a mix of old chips and new chips, the system will try this password, and then if it fails, the software will go ahead and keep trying the encode operation anyway. So just like before, when we're happy with the contents here, we press OK. Start roll. It likes the chip that's on there. Remove the chip, put the chip back, and of course, like every software demo in the history of time, something goes wrong. I think I might have put the chip down in a slightly wrong place for that one. But here we are. To read these chips back, let's go to FIG, because I think it's always better to have an independent check on your data rather than try to check them through the thing that wrote it. Let's go ahead and FIG CPR start. We'll send the inventory, send the select, and now with clear memory we're going to read everything on this chip from 0 through 48. And you see in our DAT file we had these U's and then we had these zeros. In our readback, we don't see the U's anymore, but we see an ASCII rendition of the chip's UID. This was the actual UID in binary, and this is the mirror UID, that much, in ASCII. We also see an ASCII version of the default tamper message. So now I'm going to take that chip off the reader, and on the reader we're going to put another chip that I programmed some time ago that is actually broken. The tamper loop is broken on it. So now instead of this content here, when we look at its mirror, we're going to see the message, the tag tamper message that we programmed here, all once. So back to inventory, select, and read. See? Here's our ones, and here's the other UID because it's a different chip. That's about it for today. It's easy to purchase a LineLogix standalone system on my website. It'll get you started encoding all kinds of HF RFID chips from Ultralight through Classic and into these Ultralight EV1s and Ntag210-216s. Thanks for watching. Good luck and stay safe.